It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute, episode 219.
In today's episode, Walmart buys 77% of Flipkart for $16 billion.
$16 billion with a B. Walmart has outbid Amazon for a $16 billion stake in India's e-commerce giant Flipkart. Flipkart's board has approved the deal to sell a 77% stake of the company to Walmart. Flipkart, India's biggest online store, was founded by two former Amazon employees in 2007, Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal, who are unrelated. Flipkart is a dominant player in the Indian e-commerce market, going head-to-head with Amazon, but has struggled to make a profit. The battle for one of India's highest value startups at $20 billion began a year ago when both Walmart and Amazon expressed interest in the company. The purchase gives Walmart inroads to the enormous Indian market, which it has been trying to access for years. Local regulations restrict Walmart from operating wholesale outlets in that country. It also increases Walmart's presence overseas and helps it build its reputation as an online retailer. Walmart will make $2 billion worth of investment into Flipkart as one of the parts of the deal. It may also bring in additional potential investors while still retaining a majority stake. The majority stake in Flipkart helps the world's largest retailer gain significant ground against Amazon. Flipkart's strong presence in sectors such as fashion, electronics, and digital payments were major factors behind Walmart's decision to buy the company. The deal is subject to regulatory approval in India.
Ooh,
It's big.
it's big. I guess that's great for Walmart since Amazon's not having good inroads into India.
They're not having. I think there's a culture problem. Obviously, I think that's one of the big hurdles they have. There's also regulations are different over there, but it is the next biggest market in the world. Am I wrong in saying that? I mean, it's
No, I mean
besides
obviously,
China.
yeah. Well, China kind of
China's a whole other nut to crack, and that has
has Alibaba. That's a big boy there. So, yeah. I mean, Flipkart's supposed to be the India side of it, and I guess that's they're trying for it. Amazon is still trying to make inroads. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like who wins this game. Like we're watching who tries to win the game here in the States, but who wins the game there, right? It's a bigger market than here.
Yeah, because I think now we're talking about not that the U.S. e-commerce market is done, but we already know who's the big players. It's Amazon, then Walmart, and then whoever else is behind them. So Walmart now is, they as we've been saying for the past year, they've been playing catch up as their online presence was kind of like the second tier thing, and now they woke up and said, we got to get into e-commerce a little bit better. So now they're fighting Amazon on all the other fronts. There was one estimate in here. Online shopping in India will grow 36% per year over the next 5 years. So that's 4 times faster than the country's traditional retail market. And you're talking about sheer number of people over there, and you have to realize that India was a little bit further behind than obviously the US and anyone else because they got cell phones later. The technology got there a little bit later, but they caught up so fast.
Well, I mean, that has to do with, everybody sort of in countries like that, they just straightly jumped to the cell phone side instead of going through this process.
They went straight to mobile. That was what I was going to go to next. It's more like countries in Asia and India. 9 out of 10 people are going to have a cell phone, but maybe 2 out of 10 people probably own laptops because that's just demographics, and it's
the pure, like they didn't have to go through dial up and building stuff. That they just straightly went to building cell towers and doing cell phone signals just because it makes more sense.
Yeah, good point. So Amazon said they were going to put $5 billion in the Indian business, seeing huge potential. Amazon has introduced its Prime Video music services in India in its effort to challenge Flipkart as well as its annual Prime Day blockbuster sale, but still they lost to Walmart. So this is actually big news.
Yeah, it definitely is. So we'll see how that plays out eventually.
And Walmart, there was another little snippet that Walmart has been selling assets elsewhere in preparation for its big move in India. The company, I don't know if you heard this one, they offloaded their UK supermarket business in Sainsbury's for $4.1 billion and moved all that cash over to India. So they see the potential. All right. Got anything else, Dad?
That's it, my friend.
All right. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.